There is no greater feeling than winning on the punt. And if you fail to prepare, you are prepared to fail. This is the golden hour where knowledge is power. We know life is short. That is why we focus on what really matters. Finding winners. Time is the longest distance between now and start time. The clock is ticking.
Knowledge is power and life is short. We'll try and find a couple of winners with the Hour of Power. Guests this morning coming up: Tom Charlton, Grahame, Begg, Clayton, Douglas, Sterling, Alexiou. Locally, Ryan Hill, Dan Pearce, Simon Miller and Luke Campbell. We've also got the tipping races you need to do the form on. 0427 789 571. Text your tips into the following races for a chance at a $100 Tap Touch voucher.
MR7, the Group 1 Toorak. MR8, the Group 1 Caulfield Guineas. MR9, the Scalacci. PR8 and PR9.
All right, so just waiting on Tom Charlton to pick up the phone, but we've got Slammer, passionate Carlton man. He's not too happy. Geelong 3 first-round picks. Bugger off.
Yep.
Is a list manager on the same stuff as Bailey Smith? We need to come up with something better than 3 picks in the 20s for our dual Coleman medalist.
Well, yeah, you just say thanks very much. When you want to get serious, give us a call. Otherwise, go away. And you probably say something else to go with that.
Oh, they wouldn't deal like that, would they?
Oh, well, you just say, listen.
You'd get the message across.
Andrew Mackey reaches out to Chris Davies and says, what about this? He said, no, go away. Nick off. Just come back when you're fair income, and then we might entertain it. Otherwise, Charlie will stay here for the next 12 months, and we'll work through that.
All right, we'll start the Hour of Power with a look at Caulfield, and we'll kick it off with race number 5. Grahame Begg has the favourite King's F for a last start winner going around at a short price. Grahame, good morning to you.
Morning, gentlemen.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well.
Good. How's King Zephyr doing since that last start effort?
Yeah, look, he's in good shape. He obviously it's only a 2-week turnaround, so he had his little tick-over gallop last Monday morning, and he's in good shape. We're very happy with him, and he's trained on well.
Clearly, he rises in grade, Grahame, but the market's very, very keen on him. Do you think that's justified?
I think he gets in very nicely under the weight scale. So he's got a big drop in weight from what he did carry in a restricted race. So it certainly brings him right into the race. And, it just thought it was a nice race shape for him.
Is he at peak fitness now?
He's getting nearly right to his top now, and third run in. And, as I said, we're very happy with him.
Do you have any plans post-Saturday?
Well, at this stage, if he ticks a box Saturday, he'll possibly more than likely go to 1,400-metre race on Derby Day at Flemington. It's called the Damien Oliver.
Yep.
That's the plan then, and then we'll work it out from there.
All right. Now, in the Scalacci, you've got Niance going around, drawn low. How do you assess the prospects here?
Look, she's going very well. She didn't have a lot of luck in the Moya first up. She drew the outside gate, covered plenty of ground. She wasn't beaten all that far. So I would have liked probably seen her just drawn out a little bit in this race tomorrow. There's obviously that, chance that she might get boxed up, drawn barrier 1. So there looks to be very genuine speed in the race. She's track and distance winner at Caulfield, so she's got a very good record at the Caulfield circuit. So, I'm sure she'll be very hard to beat.
Were you heartened, Grahame, by the manner in which, despite the run that she had, the way that she attacked the line in the Moya?
Well, it was very frustrating because we were very bullish on her chances going into the race, and when she drew an outside gate, we were pretty deflated because, Moonee Valley, 1,000 metres, you do need all the favours.
Yeah, absolutely. Does she have the gate speed to hold the leaders back from gate number 1?
I'm sure she probably will be in the first sort of 3 or 4. I don't think she'll be leading. I think more than likely, Golden Boom and probably Tropicus will probably cross her. But she's certainly got a good enough cruising speed to be not too far off the winner.
All right. So is King's F the best chance, do you think, just listening to you?
I'd say so, yes.
When do we see Splashback again?
Splashback runs in the Tristark on Saturday week at Caulfield,
Yep.
and then she heads to the Empire Rose after that.
All right, excellent. Good to see that. It'll be great to see her given the victory in the Stock Stakes. Grahame, thank you so much for your time this morning. Best of luck at Caulfield tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's Grahame Begg there. That's a good push for King Zephyr. I was hoping he might be able to just sneak in over to Perth as well. King Zephyr on the up.
Well, he's lightly raced. I think he's well and truly up to this grade, isn't he? Like, he carried a weight, won well, and now he gets in, in a smallish field, decent gate for him. Very winnable assignment.
Yeah.
Market says so as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It might have been last week or the week before. Grahame Begg joined the team on Drive and mentioned that Neons might be a chance to come over to Perth. So hopefully all goes well there in the Scalacci tomorrow at Caulfield, and then that plan comes to fruition and we see Grahame back for a tilt at the Winterbottom. All right, so we're going north of the border, Rose Hill. Tom Charlton takes a nice team to the races along with John O'Shea, of course. Tom, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Very good. How's Perth?
Good to hear. Yes, going all right. Getting back to some Perth weather, thankfully. 25 and sunny on Sunday. We're not coping too well over here with all this rain and cold we've had recently, Tom, but we're going okay. Napoleonic, can we start there at Rose Hill in race number 4, the Roman Consul? Step up in grade, but do you think this horse is up to this?
Yeah, we think this we're hopeful he's going to be a stakes horse for us. And what he's done so far this campaign, that would be sort of hard to argue. That last effort at Warwick Farm, we think is going to work out really well as a race. The second horse, I see, is sort of $5 for a Tap Craig on the same card tomorrow. So, look, he's taken a good step forward with each run, this preparation, and it's time for him to get to a bit more of a serious level, and I guess we'll see where he's fitting in.
Is that the perfect gate barrier too, Tom?
Difficult to answer. Look, it's probably one of those gates, in my opinion, he probably ends up leaders back or something on the fence.
Yep.
With the two main chances, Beedman and Mahoon are both drawing well 3 and 4. So whether that means he's slightly dictated to, Rose Hill's pretty good track for drawing soft, like you often do get your chance. So it's all, it's difficult to answer, but he's obviously going to get a nice soft run in transit, that's for sure. Whether that's a positive or negative, we'll see on the day.
We spoke to Nick Ashman on our program yesterday morning, and he indicated that the $51 available for a Coolmore might be overs for this horse, and he was keen on his chances there tomorrow. Is that the sort of way you're trying to head?
Well, yeah, I mean, tomorrow's a bit of a race. He's in the sense that distance-wise, we probably haven't exactly worked out where he's going to fit in. There was an option of potentially going up in trip and towards maybe a Caulfield Guineas after his maiden win, but we just felt that was a bit too soon and we weren't keen to go down that path. Wooden Bassett is a very versatile stallion, as we know. He gets good sprinters, good milers, good stayers. So, this race will tell us exactly sort of, distance in the short term, whether he's going to be a miler in the autumn is a possibility, or whether indeed, if he can run a good race and top 2 tomorrow and go, well, he warrants a crack at a good race like the Coolmore, then absolutely it's on target. But I guess tomorrow's sort of the key race for that sort of race in the immediate preparation.
Tom, I didn't think More Territories was terrible in the Tibby, and we get to see her again now in the Nivison. What do you think here?
Yeah, she was fine in the Tibby. They went very sort of sedate tempo, and it was a race where they lacked just to get into it from behind. So we feel she's going well enough, and on her day she's capable of running well in this race. There's obviously some horses with on form, better profile, and she hasn't drawn ideally, so it'll be a tough ask. But if she can get a few things to go away, then she can certainly run well.
Race number 8 on the program, the Hill Stakes, a big field over the 1900 metres. Mason Louise lines up for you, unbeaten second up. What did you make of the first up run over 1,500 metres in the Shannon?
Yeah, we were happy enough with him first up. 1,500 is way short of his best, so we felt like he recruited himself pretty well. He's obviously going to appreciate getting to the 1,900 this weekend and from a good gate. In saying that, he is, just turned 4, coming off a Queensland Derby prep and sort of now taking on very hard seasoned performers like Lindemann, light infantryman, Faulkner Park. So it's a tough ask tomorrow. It's a good race, as you'd expect for $2 million. So it'll sort of see where he's fitting in this time in. But if he could run, a nice race in the first 5 or 6, then it might give us confidence that he's going to keep developing and may get to this sort of level at some stage this campaign.
Tom, do we save the best till last, that being Rosalind's Star in race 10, this benchmark 78?
I think naturally he's the best chance of the day. He was an excellent run last time, and the winner that day was superb. Monty something, I think it's called, running the Niverson, so it'd be quite interesting to see how she runs in the Niverson.
Yep.
But look, he did a great job, and I'd say that will be a strong form race. He looks to map pretty well again tomorrow, and he's a natural chance. Polygot's probably the danger.
All right, he's at full fitness now, 4th run in.
Exactly, he is. He's ready to go. He's pretty ready last time, and he's coming up on an extended layoff this preparation. So I think the more racing he does get, he one will help him, and 2, he's probably becoming a more professional horse. He's racing very professionally, and I think last run it should give him a good bit of confidence to hopefully just improve a little bit again.
All right, so that's race 10, number 3, you've nominated as your best. Can I just ask about Linebacker, who went around in the world's most talked about trial there on Tuesday, Tom? Where do we see him?
Well, look, he's obviously had a slight setback after his run in the Bill Ritchie, which sort of ruled out the Epsom preparation. And, we've had a really good couple of weeks with him, and he was really fresh and well at the trial the other day, which was great to see. Really bounced into the bridle, and obviously trialled very, particularly well without Zach asking him to do a whole lot. But you could see, underneath himself, obviously he's in good company and doing good work. So he looks to pull up really well from that, which is excellent. Probably just all things considered, he's not ready to go straight to a mile at this stage of the campaign, and we're not keen to there's a bit of chat about the Everest, which is nonsense. So he'll go to the Silver Eagle next Saturday. It's a 4-year-old only, 1,300, and that should be a lovely sort of setup. Hopefully he can run well, and then go to the Golden Eagle over an extra 200 metres in 2 weeks' time.
Where he would make his presence felt. Tom, great to chat to you this morning. Best of luck tomorrow at Rose Hill.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, there's Tom Charlton. I dare say there'll be a lot of fans there with Linebacker wherever he goes.
Yeah, well, certainly off that trot. Gee whiz, the Golden Eagle, as you'd expect, could potentially be a good race. If you get Autumn Glow. Potentially, yeah. Autumn Glow, a Linebacker.
Has there been a bad version of it yet?
No, it is a race that does produce some really good form lines, doesn't it?
Yeah, he cops it. He's got a couple of things right, Peter.
Yeah,
the Everest has worked and the Golden Eagles have worked.
Very much so.
Absolutely, and especially if Autumn Glow turns up. It'll be a massive day at the races. All right, we'll stay in Sydney. Sterling Alexiou joins us on the program. Sterling, good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, boys. How are you?
Very well, Sterling. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good to hear. How is Grand Eagle ahead of this second up assignment tomorrow?
He's terrific. He's in really good order, as he has been all preparation. Just come through his race really well the other day with a little bit of improvement to come, and he's cherry right now. And I think if anything, he's a bit underestimated by the market in that race Saturday.
All right, he's $12 with Tab Touch at the moment. Last preparation, he won 3rd and 4th up. Is he a horse that takes a little bit of work to get into his campaign?
He did. He probably went into that first up run at Kensington, probably just half a run or a run short. And just first up on a heavy track that probably just told late, and we just give him a bit of time to get over that. And he's just in really good nick. Probably, if anything, Matt's a little bit against him. He doesn't have a great abundance of gate speed, and that'll probably see him settle in the last couple. But if they roll along in front and he's giving him every chance, he'll be hitting the line well and he'll run really well.
Now, Sterling, if Autumn Glow is one of the better horses in the country, the runner-up performance of General Salute to hers at her most recent outing, that surely is good enough for a race of the Allen Brown Stakes. It's a good race, but he has to be competitive in this, does he not?
Yeah, he's in really good order. He's been racing super consistent.
I thought it was probably nearly a peak performance from him the other day. And he seems to have come through that race quite well, and the little gap between runs suits him. He likes that little freshen between runs and a little bit of time to get over his runs. Gate might be a bit tricky from the start, given the big field, but if he can position well, begin well, and find a nice spot, it looks a really nice race for him, I feel.
Okay, so Miss Rumbini is the favourite there. Mick Price on radio in Queensland this morning saying she's not guaranteed of starting. Bloods have been taken. She could be saved for the invitation, so we wait and see there.
All right, so if we look in the form guide, Sterling, General Salute's had 7 goes on a good track, yet to trouble the scorers in the win column. Is that something we should be a little bit worried about?
I don't think so. I think there's been circumstances in that, surrounding those good track starts. I'm not going to argue he may be more effective with a bit of cut out of the ground, but I think if you go through and look a bit closer into those, I think at Eagle Farm that day on a rock hard track, he just got back into an impossible position and ran on for a nice third. And there's a couple of starts there in Run to the Roses and Golden Roses where he wasn't in the placings, but he wasn't far away. So, look, he's better with a bit of cut in the ground, but I couldn't discount him on what's going to be a nice track Saturday.
Absolutely. The form says he's going very, very well. Race number 10 on the program, Amazing Eagle, returns to the races after a long layoff. What's happened to this horse since we last saw him at the races?
Yeah, he just had a couple of little feet and joint issues towards the end of his preparation last year, and had to give him a good break. He's had a very good grounding. He's been in work for a long time. He's had 3 nice trials. He's as fit as we can get him going to the races, obviously on the back of those 3 trials, but he's definitely got improvement to come. But I'd like to think he's the class horse in the race, and if he can begin well and position well, which is a bit of a question mark with him at times, he can just hesitate at the start every now and then, but if he can position well, he'll look like the winner for a long way.
Air of confidence in your voice there, Sterling, regarding Amazing Eagle.
It is my only little question mark is drawn in. I would have liked to have sort of drawn mid to out with him because, like I said, he can just not begin great sometimes, and he doesn't hit the ground running. It takes him a little time to get into his into a flow, but if he can execute the start well, I think the race sets up really well for him, and he's a nice horse.
All right, those 3 we've touched on there at Rosehill. You've got a couple of runners at Campbell Grange tomorrow as well. Who would be the best of your 5 going around tomorrow?
I think Grand Eagle.
Yep. All right, race 4 in the Roman Consul.
He's going really well. He doesn't have to turn that bigger margin around on the race he ran in the other day, and if they run along and he's given her a proper chance to hit the line, I reckon he's a big chance.
All right, he runs well and then he heads to Melbourne down the straight. Would that be the plan?
We would sum that up after Saturday. Yep. There's also the Brian Crowley here in Sydney and a couple other races around, but we'll discuss that with John Moore and George after he performs Saturday.
All the best tomorrow. Hopefully you're interviewed on Sky Thoroughbred Central a couple of times.
Let's hope it's after the race, not before.
Exactly right.
Very well said.
Thanks, Sterling.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
There's Sterling Alexiou. So that's a good push for Grand Eagle.
Yeah, it is a good push, and clearly Amazing Eagle's done plenty of work and is ready to go to the races and run well, provided he steps cleanly.
Well, Nick Ashman threw it out yesterday in the last there. Amazing Eagle just wanted to see a little bit of market support, suggesting the horse was ready to go first up off a long break, but listening there to Sterling, he'll be there to run his absolute best. All right, Caulfield, one of the more interesting runners over the day around Australia, I'd say, comes up in the Scalacci Giga Kick. We get to see him back at the races in race 9. Clayton Douglas joins us on the Sports Daily. Clayton, a very good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
No problem whatsoever. How's Giga Kick going?
Yeah, really happy with him. He's come back in really good order. He's built up nice and slowly this preparation. We're kicking him off a little bit later in the spring, and he had a nice jump out last week at Caulfield, and he seemed to come through that really well. And yeah, looking forward to kicking him off.
Clayton, has it been a seamless preparation this time in?
It has, yeah. We've had a pretty smooth prep with him, and he's been able to get some nice pieces of work, a few exhibition gallops, and a nice jump out there last week at Caulfield, and we took him back to Caulfield on Tuesday, and he had a nice gallop, and Mark was happy. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes this weekend.
He ran in the Goodwood. He ran third on that occasion in May. That was first up off a little bit of a break. Can you compare him going into that race as opposed to going to Caulfield there tomorrow?
With the Goodwood, he'd had 3 trials leading in, and he was pretty screwed down for his first up run, obviously being a Group 1. And with that set weight penalties race, we felt it was, we really wanted him as forward as we could have him first up, whereas he's not as forward as he was leading into the Goodwood as he is tomorrow. He's obviously only had the 1 jump out, and there's still going to be really good improvement to come after tomorrow's run. But look, if it works out well, and looks like it's going to be really good tempo in that race tomorrow. It looks to be a lot of speed sort of either side of us, and you would anticipate he would probably be mid to back, and hopefully just in a nice running line. And they happen to do it overdo it a bit up front. There's no reason why he can't be running over the top of them.
All right. What does it look like after tomorrow, Clayton?
Sort of depends how he pulls up, how he comes through it, and probably how he performs. But it's obviously the champion sprint, the end of the carnival, up the straight. He's had a couple of cracks at it. So if we can probably try and sort of aim him up at that. And then obviously CF4 as well at Caulfield, the 1400 Group 1, which he's a winner of an all-age stakes in Sydney. So there are a couple of options for him. But yeah, like you say, we'll sort of see how he comes through tomorrow, how he performs. And, as long as he's running well and he's hitting the line tomorrow with improvement to come, I'm sure he should keep improving into his preparation.
Do you think there's any chance he gets back to his best?
I would like to hope so.
Yeah.
His best was very good. He obviously, what he was doing as a 3-year-old was sort of unbelievable, really. But, I think his runs last prep were really good. He was obviously got a long way back in a Goodwood, and just wasn't able to pick him up. But it was a really good run, and probably a touch disappointing his last start, but hence why we sort of kicked him off a little bit later. And it's probably going to be as easy a target first up run for him that he's seen for a long time. So I'm fairly confident he'll be running very well tomorrow.
All right, race number 1, you take Gallant Prince to the race as a last start winner. Big odds in the first over 1,700 metres. Can you make a case for him?
Yeah, he's going really good, this horse. He's been plagued with injuries and problems throughout his career, and had a really good preparation with him. He's just sort of built up each run, and looking forward to seeing him out to the 1,700. It's obviously a really strong race. I think Mr. Verse isn't a bad horse. He should be proving very hard to beat, but with the good tempo in that race in the first tomorrow, I could see him settling in a sort of forward and midfield position, and I think he's a reasonable each-way chance.
All right, you've got a runner today at Cranbourne, or tonight at Cranbourne. Seymour on Sunday. If we were to have a bet on one of your 4 runners over the weekend, Clayton, which way would you tip our listeners?
Oh, well, I think $2 a place Giga Kick's a good bet.
That's good enough.
I think he's a good bet at the price. I think he's probably... I'm sure if he's not winning, he's running really well. And there's a horse in on Sunday, Seymour, a horse called Bon Eros. He's quite a good talent. He ran really well first up at Sandown. He's in the 1,600 maiden. I think he'll be hard enough to beat.
All right, beautiful. Thank you very much for your time, Clayton, and all the best over the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
There's Clayton Douglas. So Seymour, race 3, number 11, Bon Eros.
I'm just happy that Giga Kick's back at the races. Like, as he said, what he did as a 3-year-old, it was like, wow. We're seeing an emerging star here, and he has a Group 1 alongside his name. It would be great if he could get back to that level. It would be terrific. It'd be great for W racing. It'd be great for Australian racing. It would be great because we need, like we talk about these sprinting stocks, we're probably light on, but the best version of Giga Kick is elite.
Yeah, fit in a quokka.
He'd fit very well on a quokka. You just have to convince Mr. Munns to bring him West, and I don't think $5 million for Mr. Munns is all that. That's like 5 cents for you and I. So, but look, yeah, who knows? If he can if he can recapture his best, it might be something that appeals. You never know.
Absolutely. 5 cents is about to become very, very valuable. Ryan Hill, Dan Pearce, Simon Miller and Luke Campbell to come on the Sports Daily.
Make Tab Radio your station of choice. Each weekday morning from 5:30 with the Sports Daily.
Welcome back to the Sports Daily. Diggers, just give us those tipping races again, please.
MR7, the Toorak. MR8, the Caulfield Guineas. MR9, the Scalacci. PR8, the Max Simmons. And PR9, the 78 plus 1400.
All right, the Retrovision text line for those tips, 0427 789 571. Bases loaded in the 2-year-old race for Ryan Hill there on Saturday at Ascot. I was about to say Belmont, but we're back at Ascot. Ryan Hill, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, and it's good to be back at Ascot, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Ryan. Very good morning to you. As TC quite rightly said, you've left nothing to chance here in this juvenile event. You've got Cute as Can Be, Sovereign Rock, Dawn Dancer and Bivvy Chick. We might go through them in racebook order if we may. Start with Dawn Dancer to be ridden by Stevie.
Yeah, he's shown a bit of speed, sort of thing in his trials. So he's well schooled up. He'll go there and he'll run a forward race. Like none of mine are they're not screwed down. It's only early on, but they'll have a race day experience and then head off to the paddock, I'd say. But he wouldn't be without a chance.
All right. What about Sovereign Rock?
Yeah, really like him. He's probably the pick of them, I would say. And that's why Brad's on him. Love the family. So. Not many Awesome Rocks go this early, but just got in mind that West Speed Day in December. So get into the races. He can be really fast out the gates if you give him a kick. You see when Rocky rode him, he gave him a dig and he jumped about 4 in front. So he's fast out. I'd say he'd probably lead. Because if you give him a dig, he's quick. And in that trial, I know Trevor's loomed up alongside, but he's a sort of horse that he would be better with shades, so I'm going to save him. But as soon as they get close to him, he does keep kicking, even in his work sort of thing.
Is he throwing more to mum or dad?
Mum.
Mum, okay.
Yeah, and that's what, honestly, Diggers, when I've seen him as a young horse, obviously I've had a bit to do with that family with Paul Jordan.
Yep.
And I think that she's had a couple, this mare, and they haven't really done much, but this was the best one she's thrown, I thought, and sort of everything that Claire Castle threw, all the boys were real good. So, fingers crossed it can throw onto this fella.
All right, Bivvy Chick, barrier 10 for Holly.
Yeah, it hurts her a bit. So we'll sort of cover the bases. She'll go back and get cover, and if there's too much pressure up top, she'll have the last crack at them. That's the go with her.
All right, Cute as Can Be. Did you name that after yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know me. So yeah, couldn't be any cuter, could I? That big ugly hair all over my face. Yeah. No, nice horse, nice filly. Just one I bought cheap in Adelaide. Who knows what the Acrobats are going to do? Obviously, he had one start and looked like being a real good horse. So I've got a couple of them in the stable, but barrier 1, blinkers, she'll bounce, probably box seat behind Sovereign Rock, and she'll be there for a long way. Now,
Ryan, how do you settle on the riders here? Because we know you love Brad, but you really love Vic. So how did you give Brad the best ride?
Yeah, that's a bit stiff.
Look, it's one of them things. Victoria does all the work,
and then you punter.
Yeah, no, but look, she's lucky because Bradley's very lazy, right? So, like even the other day, that Reuben Sealand, that's Brad's ride, and he had the day off because it's pretty tough going to Kalgoorlie and steering Magnificent Andy around. So he had the day off, and then she got to sit and steer there. So she loves it when Brad being the number one because he takes more days off than works.
Right. So you're saying Brad's lazy and you've rewarded him?
Yeah. Look, he's a bloody good rider. That's why. He's won me a lot of money in the last two years since I've been training. So
well, there you go.
No, I tell you why. I remember when I first started, Diggers. This all seriousness, I'd take the piss out of him. But when I first started, and I was like, you first start off, and I had that float out boat. And I said to him, can you please come to Mount Barker for me? And he came to Mount Barker twice and rode it. So I remember these things, but work ethic is not... Bradley's better fresh. That's if you're training him, you've got to keep him fresh.
All right.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, Ryan, he managed it for a long time and you helped him out and he's just trying to dig you into a hole here on radio. It's a bit harsh from your former manager. What about hit the jackpot, race number 4?
Probably a little bit tough from out there, TC. He's one of them horses. He's obviously fast, but there's a few fast ones. So where he lobs, I don't know. But follow him when we just drop him back in grade, I'd say.
All right, and Rockin' Wonder has come up with a sticky gate, albeit he is a horse who does ride the speed, so Vic will come across.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter for him, Diggers. He's won over 18. He jumped from 12 of 12 that day. So he's another awesome rocket. It actually suits him better being out there because we don't have to drive him out to sort of hold a spot. We can just let him sort of float along for the first 200, and then he sort of builds into his work. So he's definitely been looking for this distance. So I think he's actually a really good chance on Saturday.
All right, if our listeners were to invest some way on your runners there at Ascot tomorrow, how would you suggest they do it?
I'd go Rockin' Wonder.
All right, Rockin' Wonder in the 1800. Ryan, thank you.
You just don't know with the 2-year-olds, that's all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As you know, Diggers, they're there and one of them might bob up, which would be very nice. But, yeah, Rockin' Wonder's the safe way to go, I'd say.
All right, best of luck, mate. Thanks for picking up the phone this morning.
No worries. Thanks, Diggers.
There's Ryan Hill talking through his charges there in the 2-year-old race. So Sovereign Rocky said probably the best chance there on Saturday, but of his team, Rockin' Wonder from gate number 13.
Gave Brad a clip. I'd say good morning to Brad, but according to Ryan, he'd probably still be asleep.
Well, rightfully so. Or sort of just dropping into the bank.
Yes.
After Colton Saddle.
Yeah, exactly right. No, he's a gun, Brad, and Ryan has always been steadfast that he's a star and he's probably preferred choice of postilions.
Yep, really good segue because we're about to speak to another gun.
Yes.
Dan Pearce, good morning to you.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Very well, Dan. Great to chat. Thanks for your time. Talk and Co, great to see her back at the races. How has she done since that trial?
Yeah, she's done really well. Couldn't be happier with her. And yeah, I think she's set for a big preparation.
Well, fingers crossed that's the case. So the 1,000 metres first up. What are your thoughts there?
Oh, look, it's it's a fair way from her grand final. She ran third in a Supremacy first up last prep and went on to win a Karrakatta. So yeah, look, I mean, she might be vulnerable there over 1,000 metres first up, but yeah, I'm sure she'll be running a big race, and yeah, looking forward to stretching her out in trip as the prep goes on.
Are we going to see a bigger, stronger filly tomorrow than we saw as a juvenile?
I think so. Yeah, she's always been a good sort, and she's probably in the model of a say like a Dig Deep. When he won a Karrakatta, he was always that sort of bigger, more 3-year-old type of horse. Yeah, she's continued to develop and grown into a beautiful 3-year-old.
Is it a case of trying to test her at 1,400 metres at some stage this campaign, and then seeing if you go to the 16 or drop back to the 12?
Yeah, that'll be how we play it. We'll keep our options open moving forward, and she'll work through the line of races. And if at any stage we think that stepping out in trip isn't the right idea, then we can pivot there. But I think gut feel says she'll be a mile and then even possibly onto a northerly.
All right, so there's a good little push there for Talk and Co, the Karrakatta Plate champ. We're speaking with Dan Pearce on the Hour of Power. Fear the Wind, Dan, was a good trial over the 1,000 metres, short of his best trip clearly, but I thought he was nice and fresh.
Yeah, he's going good. He looks $1 million. The old boy, he's really good. So yeah, look, it's obviously a hot race and well short of his ideal distance, but I'm sure he's in for a good preparation. He'll step his way towards the Perth Cup and see what he can do.
Well, he seems to be a horse that trials well.
Yeah, I think he works well. You know, he's not a horse that's a slow stayer. He can get up and work with the best of them. So yeah, it doesn't surprise you to see him do a bit fresh.
All right, so that is Fear the Wind. But Talk and Co, the best of your two hopes there tomorrow?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right, best of luck, Dan. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
There's Dan Pearce. So that's a good push. Maybe a northerly for Talk and Co. So starting off at the 1,000, maybe a little bit vulnerable, but I'd say with Twisted Steel looking through the trials, they're the two best trials heading into that race, and the Max Simmons. Personally, from my opinion, I thought so.
Yes.
She looks big and strong.
Yeah, she's a nice filly, really nice filly, and always shown an abundance of ability, hasn't she? I love the trial of Delta Sun. He's one that I do like. Luana Miss was a good trial, but Yes Queen was a nice trial as well. So, look, it's a terrific Max Simmons Stakes, as you'd expect, because all the 3-year-olds are embarking on their spring/summer campaigns, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully have Simon Miller not too far away. $2.45 fixed favourite is Twisted Steel. Talk & Co at $4.60, $6.50. Yes Queen, Schnitzelate at $7.50. Luana Miss at $11. $13 and up. The remainder, Delta Sun, you touched on there, at $14 over the 1,000 race number 8. 4:30 start time.
What do you do with Schnitzelate?
I'm not sure.
It's a hard one to get a handle on, isn't it, that filly with that run? Fresh. She was good late, like she's only been beaten half a length or so, but it was just it was a upside down run, wasn't it?
If she drew barrier 4, it was 1,200 metres, you'd be pretty keen.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, but she's a very, very good filly. Like, if we're talking Talk & Co. as a form reference, you need to respect Schnitzelate.
Yeah, absolutely. Down in weight as well.
Yep.
Ticks a lot of boxes, and I imagine on the back of that run and then having an eye towards her staying at the 1,000 metres, I presume Adam would have kept it pretty fresh as well. That's Schnitzelate. So we'll catch up with Simon Miller, the trainer of the favourites. Twisted Steel very, very shortly. Of course, as Mardusa going around. Elite One could not be going any better as well, but we might start with the Max Simmons. Simon, a very good morning to you.
Now, Twisted Steel in the Max Simmons. The trial, the horse, the form, the 3-year-old. What are we looking at?
He's a pretty good horse. I must admit, I was tickled pink when Pike opted to ride him. So it's funny, he didn't ask to trial him. I mean, obviously I got my apprentices and Chloe that do the bulk of our work, and I just put Chloe on it. But I totally forgot that he had like 3 or 4 other options in the race. So Monday night he rang and asked if he could gallop him Tuesday, and he galloped him, and then his manager rang me about an hour later and said, "Yeah, we're riding yours." So that was a great start to the week. When you look at who he's ridden and what he's been on, and they've sort of raced well at 2. It probably is a testament to this horse where he's at. So it's exciting that we got the magician on board and that he wanted to ride him, because I think he's a really good horse, this guy. He's a lot more mentally tougher this prep than he was the previous prep. Now, does that make him faster? Who knows? But his trial was good. I think it was one of the quickest of the day. So it all sets up nicely from that draw to just hit a nice spot, and he'll run extremely well.
All right, the market's been pretty keen. He's been really well supported early in betting. Simon, are you as confident as the market seems to be?
Well, I think he's pretty good, TC, and both times he's won with authority and margin. So I can understand why they've gravitated to him. But there's still some good horses in that field that you don't want to give any disrespect to. But he's a really nice horse going places, and with the luxury of being able to choose now whether you want to play the sprints or the mile races, he'll be on the sprinting path.
All right. Can you give us a word, please, on Mardusa, 6-inch heels, and Elite One, who go around in race 10, this 66 plus 12?
Mardusa's on a Guineas campaign. Both trials have been excellent, so looking forward to him coming back. Draws a gate, which will be of huge benefit just from an easy running transit point of view, from a first-up run. Elite One's flying, drawn awful, but I'd rather him draw out than in. And you just got to get on the back of the right one, and if he does, he'll be thereabouts. And 6-inch heels, she's humming behind the scenes, but you wouldn't know that race day. And I think if you just look at her Belmont form, it's horrendous. So back to Ascot, you'll see her turn it around. It's just where does she get to from that draw? It maps a bit awful, but we've got good representation with all 3 there, and it wouldn't shock you whichever one won. But I suppose if you wanted to look from a futures point of view, just keep an eye on Medusa heading towards the Guineas.
All right, and 6-inch heels gets back on top of the ground. 7 starts for 4 wins, probably going to help her as well. Race number 4, Cryptic Joy. Can he bob up first up?
He's an interesting one, Taylor. When he's on song, when he's sound, he just flies. He's got major feet issues. Had him all his life, but Touchwood as of right now is completely sound, so look for him to pull out a burster of a run. When the farrier's not working overtime on his feet, it correlates to him racing well. So he's as sound as he's been. It's an even race. It's not an overly strong race, and he gets a good look at him and drawing a gate as well.
All right. The best? Twisted Steel?
Yeah, Twisted Steel for sure. Yep,
all right.
Absolutely.
All the best.
Thanks, Taylor. Thanks, Digby. Have a great weekend and great to be back at Ascot. That track looks amazing, and if we can't get a crowd there with the winter that we've had, then we're in trouble. But I think they'll blow the numbers up when they get there tomorrow. So enjoy. Good luck.
There we go. There's Simon Miller. Hopefully that is the case. Looks like a beautiful day.
Yeah, it does.
Name a better spot to have a beer on a Saturday.
No, exactly right.
You.
Exactly right. Cannot wait. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And all the reports from all the trainers out there at Ascot say that track's in very, very fine fettle. James Holdring said just as much when we spoke to him on Tuesday, so looking forward to getting back onto that fresh pad.
If it couldn't be in good shape now, you'd be concerned given they've had plenty of rain, you're getting some sun now. I'm not a grass expert, but it is good grass-growing weather, surely.
Oh, you know Snoop Dogg?
No, I'm no Snoop Dogg. No, I'm not.
All right, Luke Campbell joins us on the Sports Daily to round out the hour of power. Luke, a very good morning to you.
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
Thanks for making yourself available, Luke. You link up with All on Red for Tiana in race 1, this 2-year-old race. You trialled this Doubtland colt. Shades go on tomorrow. What are you thinking?
I quite like the horse. I've done a fair bit of work with him, like track work and everything. Obviously, I trialled him the other day. Thought trial was pretty good. He's still a colt, so eventually I reckon he might be better as a gelding. But I was happy with his trial, and the horse that did beat us, I think, goes pretty good. So going into tomorrow, I think he's probably my best ride of the day, and I like to think he's got a pretty good chance, but I've just drawn a little bit sticky.
What are you thinking from that draw?
Don't know. I'll have to have a chat to Tiana and Jared. He has got a bit of speed. The other day he sat 1-1 in the trial, but like in his jump outs and that behind the scenes, he's got her out of the gates really quick in that. But obviously these 2-year-old races, first 2-year-old race of the season, they can, a lot of these 2-year-olds could be a lot of speed on, 1,000 metre race back at Ascot. So I'm a bit unsure, but I think even if I rode him back, if the speed was on, I think he'd still go good. So, I'll have a chat to Jared and Tiana.
All right, we haven't seen Baccalotti at the races for a little while, but I think going a little bit better than numerical form suggests. Is that fair to say, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't really sat on her in a while. Actually, I haven't sat on her since I last rode her, but I think over the last time I rode her, I got caught wide, and I thought she was tough enough, and she sort of fought on pretty well. Obviously drawn a little bit sticky again, so we'll see what they want me to do, but I think there's a little bit of speed on it. I think Frappuccino will probably lead and roll along at a pretty good clip, so maybe I'll be able to cruise across and get outside of that, hopefully. But, yeah, I'll have a chat to Tiana and see what they reckon, but I reckon Baccalotti should go good.
OK, is Cessation capable of bobbing up in race 5, what is a pretty hot 1,000-metre event, Luke?
Yeah, this is a really good race, I thought. It's a really good 72+. Obviously, there's a lot of talented horses going around in this race. Cessation's obviously earned her right to be in the race. I think she's paying where she should be in the market, around that $12, $13 mark. But she gets a little bit of weight relief off a horse like All Play, an extra 2 kilos off. But I think she should get a good run from the barrier. I'm hoping so anyway. A lot of speed in the race. 1,000 metres, they're going to go quick. She'll go good fresh. I think she'll definitely run a good race. I don't know if she can beat All Play or maybe like a KTY, but I definitely think she can run in the money and finish third behind them. So she's going well. Her trial was good a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago. She obviously went really good last prep as well. So, she'll go good.
Good push. All right, you're also ride Playhouse Patron and Hang Glider later in the day. Both strike really tough races. Can you make a case for either one of the two?
Look, Hang Glider's work the other day, Tuesday morning at Belmont, was really, really good work. He worked with Rope Them In and sort of maybe even worked a little bit better than Rope Them In. He's obviously first up. He had obviously we've drawn a little bit sticky as well there on Hang Glider. If we can get the right run and follow the right horse, I think he'll definitely be hitting the line. But as you said, these 2 last races of the day are pretty good races. There's good horses going around in both. And same as Playhouse Patron, he's won over 1,400 before. I've ridden him before and he's going good for me. But yeah, he's going to carry the 60 kilos. And obviously running into a few nice horses as well, Opportunistic and First Encounter, both very good horses. So hopefully if we can get the right run, I think they can both go good, but definitely hard races to win.
Luke, great to chat. Best of luck on the opening of Ascot, mate.
Good on you guys. Thank you.
There's Luke Campbell, so he mentioned his best comes up race 1, number 1, All on Red. All right, we've run a little bit over time.
Yes,
we'll get to some sponsors' messages and then the Gloucester Park preview not too far away. See you at Ascot.
Have a great weekend.